Dumb 16 going on 17-year-old. Boy Scout. Living in Alaska. Get invited on a high adventure. Am a dumbass. Do none of the physical conditioning beforehand. Do like one of the lead-up trips. Don't read the trip itinerary, don't know what we're doing or how far we're going. Pack like I'm going to summer camp. Bring like a week's worth of clothes. Bring all this extra survival gear I don't need and that would have been useless anyway. Read enough about where we are going to pack goggles, face mask, and rain gear the night before. Still don't really understand what's about to happen. Wake up. Fly out to town in the sticks. Fly from sticks to some kind of remote wilderness shack. Oh, it's a neat little nature resort. Spend one night there. Wake up next day, get on some kind of monster truck mod bus and drive out to the actual place we're going. Looks like nice enough terrain, lots of trees and shrubs and stuff, not sure why they had me pack these desert goggles. Cross through vegetation. Goes on for about 1/4-1/2 mile. Cross small stream. Things get kinda gravelly. Have to ford a bigger stream, knee-deep rapids. Cross up the other bank of the stream. Oh shit, WTFOMG barbecue. Nothing but sandy hellish desert as far as I can see, unless it's the mountains of fucking Mordor off in the distance or on either side of me. Keep going along a flat sandy plain for a while, before we come to a river/canyon. To your left for at least 1/3 of the trek is this river that will just straight up kill you if you fall in. It's 40 feet deep and has 10 feet sheer rock walls on both sides at the highest point and lowest depth. At the part where you can first see it is its natural end, which is a fucking waterfall. Also it's rapids and made of freezing snow melt. The ground naturally slopes in towards it. I have a 60-pound ruck. I didn't pack any water because I thought we were just doing short day hikes. Turns out the total trip was around 12 miles in 4 to 5 hours. The last 2 miles are literally mud and ice mixed together by snow melt. There are little trenches cut into the ground that go knee deep, but they're narrow and it's easy to get stuck in them. Eskmhowino.jpg. We almost lose a kid because he loses his balance because of his ruck while traversing a snow melt wadi and he can't get traction on the loose sand. He nearly loses his ruck trying to get out alive and there was really nothing most of us could do except watch. We finally get there and make camp. By make camp I mean I put my ruck on the side of me facing the wind and laid down on the ground and blacked out for 15 minutes or so. Realize it's getting really windy. Little flecks of sand and shit start kicking up in my face. Sharp chunks of pumice everywhere. Sigh and put on goggles and rain jacket. Find way to tent. Windy bullshit. It is so windy and rainy for the next 12 hours that no one even leaves their tent. Everything is kind of a blur of me sleeping for most of that 12 hours because I was so exhausted and dehydrated, but I remember that I woke up and someone gave me snacks. Wake up for real next morning. People are trying to erect a cooking tent. It's working like a fucking sailboat. Keeps collapsing or nearly getting blown away. No one can keep the stoves alight in the open air. Fuck this, why are you all idiots? Dig a trench. Put up a rock wall from loose stones laying around camp in front of it. Some other jerk off who does stupid shit later I'll talk about tries to take credit for it and succeeds, but I get the last laugh. All we have for a shovel is a shit shovel. It's a bright orange garden trowel. Go to the edge of camp. Find a good spot. Spend most of the next 6 days making a cozy foxhole. Everyone loves it because I eventually end up with a 6x8 plus hole with a 5 windbreak on it. Comfiest time of my life, sitting in a foxhole I dug with a shit shovel eating sandy freeze-dried mountain house. This is a bit out of order because it's very much all a blurry memory for me even though it wasn't that long ago. Probably because of what was about to happen. Some adult leader decides that damn it, the trip itinerary said day hikes. Never mind that the weather has been terrible and this is the first time in 36 hours the wind has died down and it's not raining or hailing. and everyone is still exhausted and shit. We're gonna go cross the valley and go over the river. That fucking scary river that I mentioned earlier. The very deadly one. And then climb Mount Baker. A glorified pile of sand, except it's actually the size of a fucking mountain. Starts drizzling as we go across. I didn't want to do this. I just wanted to stay in my comfy little hole. This was a bad idea, but no one listened. The spot where we would normally cross is just gone because the erosion here is crazy. Some dumb nigger, take a guess who, suggests we jump. Another older scout starts saying we're pussies for not trying to jump this 8-foot wide river that will kill us if we miss, while wearing packs. There is slick wet rocks and ice on both sides to hold onto. Someone finds a snow birch slightly further down the river and is over it before anyone can say. Maybe we shouldn't cross a fucking ice bridge in a rainstorm in the middle of summer over a rapids without a safety line. Well, we go across one at a time. Climb Mount Baker. Halfway up is a USGS cabin. I hang out there because I have no intention of going up to the top in the now renewed windstorm. No way, Jose. Wind is gusting up to 50 at least. Have to lean into the wind to walk out to the outhouse. The party that went up to the top comes back missing some hats and gloves and shit because it was just straight blown off their bodies. We start hiking back to base camp. Rain picks up. The ice bridge is visibly shrunken. Well, cross back over. About 400 yards from the edge of base camp I hear this noise. I turn and look down the valley. What.png? There's a giant black wall. Literally, half the valley is gone and there's just this flat black wall. It is visibly moving towards me. See lightning arcing up in the very top tips of it? Realize it's a wall of storm clouds, sand, and fog coming at me at 60 miles per hour minimum. Start hauling ass. About 60 yards from the edge of camp it hits me. I can't see shit. Visibility reduced to 20 feet tops. I am wearing goggles. It's like being in a sandstorm. I find my way back to my tent. The position of our base camp means it's actually fairly clear of this shit relative to the valley proper. Climb into my tent. Spend the rest of the trip either in my tent, my foxhole, or exploring closely around base camp. Trip ends. I actually don't want to leave. This is the most at home I have ever felt anywhere. I can't explain why and I still don't get it. I still want to go back. We hike back to the larger stream we crossed on the first day, camp for the night, wake up, hike back to meet the bus further up the road, eat lunch, then go back to the main area. Hang out there for a day or two. Get on a plane and start flying back to small town. Eat breakfast at a restaurant there. Get on big plane home. Go home. I still want to go back. Valley of 10,000 Smokes, near Katmai, Alaska.